So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a very interesting one. We're going to go down to the garage because they have split down the 197 engine, and we've got some redemption in this video. Please watch the whole thing because we're going to detail exactly what happened on the dyno. There was a lot of negative comments though. There was a lot of stuff saying that we purposely went out there to dyno the car to make it explode. In fact, that wasn't the case. The case was that we were dynoing it, making sure it was good for a track day. Because we had a track day booked, the car wasn't on the road, didn't need an MOT on it, so that was the only sort of place that we could safely go and run the car up and make sure it was happy. Now, if you didn't see the video, go back and watch it. I did it over a sort of 3 video span because there was a lot of content and a lot of issues we got into after actually servicing this thing, putting a timing belt on it. We did everything to make sure this engine was tip top without actually opening it up. And today we have some redemption to the people that didn't appreciate that we may have looked like we put it on the dyno, although it was my idea, put it on the dyno to see what sort of power it was running. Then the negative comments came, and then everyone was saying that it was my fault for blowing it up. Well, today I'm going to prove every single person wrong out there because we found a much bigger problem that was inside the engine, and probably the reason this car was taken off the road over 8 years ago. Again, there was probably a big problem 8 years before we picked this car up, so today we're going to find out what that problem actually was. Okay, so we're down at the garage. Dan is going to take us through exactly what happened with this 197 engine. Now, I will say, again, this has 170,000 miles on it, and it was sat for 8 years, so of course there is going to be some problems. We did do as much servicing and stuff as we could at the time, but after taking the engine out and looking through it, oh my god, Dan, there's a lot of things we need to talk about.
Which end would you like to start, the top or the bottom?
We'll start with what's in front of us, right, which is on the engine crane.
The catastrophic bits.
The catastrophic bits, yeah.
Get a torch on the situation. So obviously the viewing platform there shouldn't be there, and we can see the edge of the con rod. Yeah. So that is obviously a big boo-boo.
Yep.
Then we'll spin it around and just show the punch hole.
Wow. Oh, there's a Pepsi can in it for,
exactly.
for showing how big it is.
Just for purposes. So as you can see, when it grenaded, it didn't do it by halves. So
no.
That's that and that, and then I'll spin it round to the money shot. So as we can see,
this is, oh wow,
you've got gouges where it's gone. The rod's bent and seized in there, so we can't move it. However, the gudgeon pin is nice and free floating still. There. It's floating lovely. I will grab the bits of broken piston in a minute and show you, but like as you can see in there, that is just catastrophic.
Yeah.
There's bits of piston that are fired into the other chambers.
Oh, wow.
So it just, yeah, it weren't great. It weren't great, but during the strip down, the first bit that we come across that we instantly thought, right, something's not right here. So that's the cam cover. This piece here, was glued here.
Oh my god, so glued in?
Yeah, literally siliconed in. So whoever's been in there before, this has been glued down. This was sat like that. So we picked it up to have a look.
Way.
So, and you can see the amount of sealer on that.
So this was done before you guys got the car.
So
this has not been done here. This hasn't been. This was done years ago.
Yeah.
And that is a piece of metal.
That is that hole there. That bit. It's
that
broken
been
out.
Just siliconed on top. Siliconed on top.
It's in the scoring. I've showed it down through this.
Oh.
So you look at all the scoring.
Wow. Yeah.
All this.
That's insane.
That's caused by oil starvation.
Yeah.
Which is obviously why the control was there for the variable cam timing, but it wasn't working. We grabbed.
Wow, I can't believe that.
We know why the bottom end's failed.
This is the camshaft.
So this is from a different cylinder to the what actually let go.
Yeah.
So this is cylinder 4 timing belt end, I think, on this.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the head.
Yeah, the head.
That's one. I cannot believe that. So that's a big problem, and someone has been in here before and literally siliconed a bit of metal in. I actually can't believe that.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's awful.
So that is proof that something was not right with this car to start with.
The fact the cam this end has gone, and it was this end that exploded. So
Yeah, well that was already there as well.
Yeah,
or it was already going.
Well, when we took the cover off, we found one of the lifters had moved over and the top of the valve had been beaten off. So we think that may have also been contributing to everything going off.
Right.
That was a different cylinder. And
That was a different cylinder to the one that went.
Let go.
Wow. Okay. So over
Here's
here,
the cylinder head. First of all, someone's machined it with like a 12mm end mill.
and this is before you guys had it.
Yeah,
so
but
we've never had this car apart. Other than to put the belt on. That's as far as it went.
So you can run your finger over it. It's like a piece of roofing sheet. It's
Yeah,
like
look at
ripply
that.
and wavy.
I'm not sure if the camera picks up the lines.
Yeah, they just about can. So that's someone's been in here because there's been a failure,
That's been machined badly.
and someone's machined
Like,
that
you can
really,
feel
really
it.
badly. Yeah, you can feel
That's
that.
not. It's just not flat. It's
Wow,
that's never going to
way.
work. This is the cylinder that failed.
Yeah.
This is the cylinder with the faults with the camshaft. So we noticed before we took it apart, we took the inlet manifold off. We noticed that one of the valves was open, the other one wasn't.
Yeah.
And we were like, why is that? So
broken.
it transpires that when they've put it together,
Yeah.
whoever did it didn't have the rocker on properly. So the rocker had fallen off. Obviously, the cam had knackered it out and it had been jammed in here. Then when it blew the lifter out, it lost oil pressure in the top end,
Right.
which caused all the scoring in the head and the cam timing to not work properly and all the rest of it. And then it's obviously seized up and beat the balls out of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So someone has been in here,
Yeah.
and they haven't
Do you know
really
what?
put it back together properly. Is what's happened.
Surprisingly enough, I expected it to make a lot more noise.
Yeah.
Being in this sort of a state. This is a cylinder that let go and the top of the valve's been chipped. Obviously there was probably some contact and it's chipped. We expect that.
Yeah. But that
This
is the other side of the engine.
and it's totally untouched.
Yeah.
Nothing has touched. And it was all timed up still.
Yeah.
The belt didn't let
we
go,
did
none
that.
of the time let go. The new dephaser pulley, I'm going to add in there because a lot of people in the comment section said it wasn't new,
Yeah.
it was brand spanking
And it was
new.
brand spanking new. Yeah.
We knew it was high mileage, we knew it was tired, we didn't know someone had been in messing.
Yeah.
So not
That didn't
100%
have a
sure
clue.
if that block is the right block. Looking at the numbers on it, someone might tell us different, but from
Okay.
what
So
we
leave a
can
comment
see-
below if you know.
Yeah,
It
from
may
what
not
we
be
can
the right
see,
block.
it might not be the original bottom end. There is a
Oh.
code on it. What's the code for? K4A,
K4A.
and what we think it's meant to
Well,
be.
the engine code's K4R, but they may all be the same block.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a Renault expert when it comes to
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It does have the under piston spray jets, which suggests that it is one of the higher output engines.
Either way, someone's had to
So-
get off to do the work. Done it bad.
Maybe it's out of a higher output Laguna or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea. Hands up. Don't have
Yeah.
a clue about
Don't
that.
know. But well,
I
you
know
weren't there when it happened.
This,
So.
this has obviously had failures and been rebuilt by an absolute moron, and I hope you're watching.
Because you're the reason it failed. It wasn't down to us servicing it. It wasn't down to even the mileage, really. It was down to someone else being.
But let's face it, the engine needed to go, and what an ending!
Oh, mate, we did the right thing, and just as well as I've already said at the start of this video, it was on the dyno and not on a track day on the road.
No, we was testing it.
Yeah, we were testing
all
to make sure it actually worked.
We were going to a track day with it. That
It was booked.
That's the whole thing, yeah.
It was booked for a track
It was booked to go. So this was already failing, and probably the reason why it was parked is because there was some intermittent fault that you wouldn't see from the outside of the engine.
The fact that the rocker wasn't attached and it was down on power, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was
pretty much. Yeah,
I think that was probably. It was a 15 valve engine at that point because one of them was doing absolutely nothing.
but you wouldn't have noticed that or seen it from servicing the vehicle.
No,
You would
do you know
never have
what?
seen
it
that.
Didn't sound too bad.
No, it was fine.
It sounded a little bit
Missy.
dephasery.
Yeah.
Sounded a little bit dephasery, and there was an ever so slight possible miss. That's why we changed the fuel because we thought it might be stale fuel causing it. But obviously,
turns out.
when we were logging it, we could see that the variable cam time wasn't doing exactly what we wasn't doing anything we wanted it to do.
What's going on here? But you didn't have enough time
And
to
it was
actually correct it.
as I was looking at it, and then it was probably 3 seconds later it let go. So.
yeah. So
And I'm glad it let go because it's a fucking piece of shit. I hate it.
exactly.
And
it's someone's.
It means
done a
that we've
bad
done
job here.
something better.
Yeah, it means that the redemption is the vehicle is going to be on another level. I can't believe that we've actually cracked it though. Of course, and I've already said multiple times in this video, we thought, and looking at the comments, especially on that video, there was something we'd done wrong, and we're like, well, no, we didn't do anything wrong. We were servicing the car and running it up to see what was going on. Now we've pulled the engine apart after it basically exploding itself. Someone else has been in
we
there,
hadn't
mate.
done anything wrong anyway.
No.
There was comments about us not using timing tools to time it
We'd
up
already
and
done all that. It was already on the
timing
channel.
tools
Yeah.
we used.
Yeah.
We've got the master kit.
Yeah.
They always get used.
And I actually videoed the whole thing as well.
It's not our first rodeo doing timing belts.
No,
We've
funny
done
enough,
loads of them.
So there was a bigger problem at play that we didn't know about at the time, and that was that someone else had already been here and basically set the car up to fail, is what's happened.
Well, somebody didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
At all.
But this is prime example of what happens when people come to a dyno.
Yeah.
They want to use the dyno. You give them obviously the usual questions of what's happened, what have you done with the vehicle. You do your basic checks. This can then happen to a customer. Fortunately, happened to us.
Yeah.
But then that highlights what people do go through, because you could have been driving down the road and it blew up.
Yeah. If we'd have drove it down the road, that would have happened straight away. That would have made the biggest mess. It would have probably locked up, maybe driving along. Like it would have been pretty catastrophic.
You'd dip the clutch and you'd be all right.
Yeah.
But if we'd have took it on the truck to the track day, and oiled the track,
that's a bad time, and it's an expensive time as well.
I'm glad it's
so. Yeah, I'm glad that this obviously let go on the dyno, and we then subsequently have found out that it wasn't any of our, messing around to play. It was actually someone else that had been in the car maybe 8 years ago when it came off the road. They were trying to do something with it. Maybe they were trying to, maybe put a new head on it. I don't know.
That hasn't been done for long.
No.
Like, it's done no miles since this was all done. It was obviously put back together and it wasn't right.
No.
Parked up, left, and then sold.
And then that's when it came to us, and
it was like the UK's cheapest 197.
It was very cheap.
There was quite an expensive one.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got to the bottom of that, and it wasn't our fault, and I knew it wasn't, and it wasn't your fault 100%, which is the main thing, because we knew it wasn't anyway. But tearing down the engine was the big thing, and now we know.
Just going to throw it away.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? Let's go through that. I want to know why it failed.
Yeah. And here we are. So that's what it sort of looks like.
I'm pretty sure someone thought it was supposed to be this.
Yeah, it's just tin roofing sheet.
This belongs on your shed roof.
Yeah.
Do you want a down switch?
Not on your cylinder head.